And now we're over to my favorite part of the evening where I get to kick back and relax and hand over to our guest speaker. So our guest speaker tonight is Michael Griffiths. He's the founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and he's the creator of the Partnership Club. Now, he's a teacher, so he was finished up back in 2009, where he created his first business, which was an education center providing tutors in people's homes. So that'd be a great business to be in right now, I would imagine, with all of this homeschooling going on. Over the past decade, he's created 7 businesses. He sold 6 of them along the way. But it wasn't until 2013 that he followed his passion for teaching and coaching, and now helps service providers grow their businesses by understanding what he calls human marketing. So we're going to find out a bit more about this term human marketing tonight. So what human marketing is, I won't talk too much about it, but it's a combination of referrals, networks, partnerships, mixed in with a bit of human psychology, behavior, brain chemicals, and neuroscience. But Michael will tell us all about that sort of thing. But he's got a motto there, which really sort of sums him up. And it really is to look to help someone else before asking for help. So I'd like to introduce to us now Michael Griffiths. Let's give him a big round of applause in this virtual room.
Thank you, Nick. Great to be with you guys. I'm going to do something a little bit controversial here. If your camera's off, unless you're in hospital or you're driving, I'd love to be able to see you. So it might mean some of you might need to get dressed. Now, it's the teacher in me. Don't know, it's the need for interaction, but love to see people's faces. Maybe it's it is the school teacher that you're in the corner doing something naughty and I can't see what you're doing. Don't know, but obviously if you're here, love for you to be here, love to be able to see, love to be able to interact. John, doesn't know if you're eating, we'll all be jealous of that lovely food that you've got, and we'll all be good. So Nick's given a bit of a backstory there. I'm not going to go into it much. Nick said you've got about 50 minutes, entertain. I went, oh, okay, how do I fit like a week into 50 minutes? I talk fast. It is recorded, so you can watch the recording. I'll get interaction along the way. Anything that stands out for you, throw it in the chat box. It was a light bulb standout moment for you, and I'll get questions as we go. So Nick has sort of gone human marketing. Michael's going to guarantee that this is better than anything else. Do you know what? It's actually what you do naturally. Human marketing is actually relationship marketing, and the only form of marketing that will never die. It's been around for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades, and it doesn't rely on an algorithm. It doesn't rely on a widget. It doesn't rely on a platform. It doesn't rely on the next shiny thing. It relies on humans. And as long as we're still around, robots don't take us completely over, then relationship marketing and human marketing will always be around. The unfortunate part, however, is over the last decade or so, we have become hopeless at it because society's so busy. We've got these smartphones, we've got social platforms, we've got this instant gratification, we've got this need for, I wanted it yesterday. And because those things have happened, we've sort of become a little bit more transaction focused. So what I want to be able to get through tonight is show you a whole bunch of stuff, really probably change your thinking more than anything to how to get back to humanizing your marketing, how to actually get back to understanding that, you know what, as human beings, we love to think that we're all individual and that we're all quite unique and quite special. Unfortunately, you're not, sorry. But there's a science to us, and it's based on how we were brought up in caveman, cavewomen days and our primal instincts, and you can actually influence humans pretty easily when you know how. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to share that you've got to promise me right now that you're only ever going to use for good, because you could use it to influence people in a bad way, and we can't have any of that happening. Okay, so Let's get ourselves straight into it. As I said, teacher by trade, you don't need to hear me talk the whole time. I love being interactive, so let's be interactive. So my guess is you went into business to be able to put out fires, do activity after activity, deal with hopeless clients, deal with money problems. Of course you didn't. You went into business because you had these goals, you had these dreams, you've got ambitions, and your business was the vehicle to be able to allow that to happen. So that's what I sort of call the fourth box. But for that to be able to happen, something needs to happen back here. You need to be profitable. Okay, that makes sense. If you're profitable, now you can chase your goals, your dreams. Whether your goal, your dream, your ambition is to have more freedom, to have better security, to be in a better financial situation, to be able to help the kids or the grandkids. Whatever yours is, your business is the vehicle for you to get there. So for that to be able to happen, you need to be profitable. Well, to be profitable, you have to be able to have a really solid business. So when we talk to our guys about having a solid business, you have to know your numbers. You have to know how many new leads do you get every single month into your CRM, into your pipeline. You need to know how many sales calls did you get booked? How many sales did you make? How much money went into the bank? What is your actual profitability percentage? Like simple little numbers that a lot of people don't know, because it actually means they might actually have to go, business isn't as good as what I thought it was. So from there, it has to start down here with you doing certain activities. So that's where people go, I'm doing SEO, I'm doing Facebook ads, I'm doing lots of content on social media, I'm doing videos, I'm going to networking events, I'm getting referrals. They're all activities. So sure, you've got to start down here in what I suppose I call level one thinking. What are the activities? But the purpose of doing activities is to get up to level two thinking. How do I have a really solid business? Because a really solid business allows you to get to level three thinking. How do I become more profitable? Which now allows you to get to level four thinking of actually getting out and chasing those goals, those dreams and ambitions. Now, there's one more box where I'd love for us eventually to be able to get to. And that is, how do you make an impact and create this ripple effect to be able to help make society a better place? Now, you can't do that if we're all the way down at level one going, where's my next client coming from? How am I going to get the next sale? And why I needed to start here is simply because here's the first neuroscience lesson. We are wired for survival. That's what our brain was there for. In caveman days, it was there to protect us from the saber-toothed tigers and make sure we put food in our stomach. Well, today, obviously, we don't have the saber-toothed tigers around, but in the end, that's what keeps us in fear. That's what keeps us doubting ourselves. That's what keeps us going, can you really do it? So what do we want to be able to get to, and you're going to see how all this joins, is to be able to go from, do you know what? There's a couple of things that I need to focus on. I need to focus on all the time, what are the actual real reasons why I got into a business? Because it wasn't to go to networking events. It wasn't to put out fires. It wasn't to be able to get new clients. And it probably wasn't even really, if you were to ask yourself, going, well, I just want to make money each day. Because that actually was to give you something. It's the byproduct of the bigger things. So what I want you to do through all of this and where we're going through, and I said, I want to really probably challenge some of the thinking, is for you to put down, why do you even have a business? Why do you even want a business? So I heard a bunch of people saying what they did, and it was great. But why? And if you go simply because I want to help people, yeah, that's fine, but it's more than that. Because there's a deep down thing for you that it actually gives you. I want you to really hone into that. So let's get into this next part. So many people will ask me, Michael, what's the script? What's the process? What's the stepping stones? Yeah, I can go, hey, do 1, 2, 3, 4 things and copy this message. And it won't matter. And it won't matter because your level of thinking dictates how successful you are, full stop. Let alone in being able to market yourself and get referrals and use your networks effectively and create partnerships and actually get other people to be able to help you grow your business. So we just talked about what our brain was there for, survival. Most people in business still, and just in life, are what we call transaction thinkers. They're what we call hunters, because that's what we needed to be to survive. Unfortunately, in business, it's the worst possible thing that we can be. Because you think about what a hunter needs to do. Where's my next kill? Where's my next piece of food coming from? Well, if we translate that to business and go, where's my next sale? Where's my next sale? Where's my next sale? There is so much that you are doing that shoots yourself in the foot if you constantly have to go and find a new person time after time after time after time again. So we need to be able to move from this transaction thinking up to what we call collaborative thinking. Now, most people in business get to this point pretty easily. It's about how do we create some win-wins. It's about how do we do things together. Most business owners, they get it. They understand that they've got to be like that. But if I went, you know what, I want you to go and I want you to team up with your biggest competitor. I can feel the knots in your stomach already. What happens if they take all my clients? What happens if they're better than me? Hey, all this little thing comes into your mind with all these little questions. So you're happy to collaborate when you can see it being a win for you. But at least that's the next stepping stone. Really where we need to get to, and what we talk about all the time, is this transformational thinking. How to be a farmer. I think we can learn so much from farmers. You think of what the farmer needs to do. They need to prep the soil. Then they need to plant the seeds. Then they need to water, nurture, give it time. Then the seeds start growing. And then eventually they get a crop. And they harvest the crop. They don't ever kill the crop. But what does it take? It takes time. It takes energy. It takes caring. And right now in this today's world, well, we wanted that result yesterday. We needed new clients now. We've got bills to pay. We've got to put food on the table. Which why it makes it so hard for most people to become a farmer. Because in the end, the pressure of society and the pressure of having a business becomes too much. And therefore it stops them from really ever getting to become this way of thinking. A lot of people will say, oh yeah, I can do that. Eh, it's not. You might get to the second one. So this is the important part that we've really got to get. Because everything I'm going to go through here is really about how you change the way you see things and the way that you think. Because when you do that, getting referrals, it's easy. You don't have to ask for them. You just have to build great relationships. You just have to evoke positive emotions in other people. Using your networks will want to share you, will want to talk about you, will want to open doors for you. But most of the time, I don't know about you, but I know probably 50% of the social media messages I got today was from some moron going, I can help you do this. Well, they didn't even know if I had that problem, let alone whether I wanted a solution or not. Transaction hunter thinking. So therefore, will that work? Yeah, of course it'll work. It's like cold calling. It's like knocking on doors. Of course it'll work. It's just very time consuming. Takes an awful lot of effort and energy. I wouldn't call it much fun. Some people thrive on it, and that's great. But to me, the sorts of business owners that we got around us, that we speak to, they don't want to be having to send 1,000 messages to get one interested person. If they're going to speak to 1,000 people, they expect to have 900 odd clients. So where we need to go to start with is we need to go, how can you prep the soil, plant the seed, water and nurture, harvest the relationship, don't ever kill it, so that you can keep going back to it season after season after season, year after year after year, decade after decade after decade. And when you think about business in the 80s and 90s, that's why having a long lunch that went through on a Friday through to Saturday morning grew people's businesses. That's why in the financial industry, back in those times, it was all about relationships. It was all about being out. It was all about being able to build the know, like, trust. But it's more than that, because I hate people when people say that. People go, oh, you got to know someone's got to know you to like you to trust you. And yes, that's true. But they put it all in one sentence as if it happens like that. Now, someone's got to know you, full stop. That might take them weeks, months, years before they like you, full stop. That might take weeks, months, years before they actually trust you. But there's a whole better word for it. For someone to do business with you, they need to resonate with you. If someone can resonate with you, then they can respect you. Therefore, they can be inspired by you. So I want you to think about this, not just from a client, from a prospect client perspective, but from a partner perspective, a referral source perspective, a networking perspective, a social media perspective. How well do you focus on getting people to resonate with you, respect you, and be inspired by you? Or are you too focused on, I need to make my next sale. I need to tell everyone what I do. I need to shove down everyone's throat as much as I can. This is what I do and this is who I help. Because I'm not sure about you. How do you respond if you're at a networking event and someone just walks up to you without even saying hello and says, here's my card? What do you think? Card goes in the bin for me. But for some reason, especially now that we're all so much online, that's what we think is okay. Just before I get on to the next piece, it's like this. I find this always amusing. Let's just go, you're in a room of 30 people. Okay? And in the middle of the room, everyone is in these, let's just say, this black suit, except for this one person in the middle of the room that's in a green suit. So you come into the room and you go up to the person in the green suit. What would you say if you were face to face? You wouldn't say, oh, hi, I see it's Nick, because you can see their name badge. I do blah, 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 blah. No, you go, wow, green suit, love it. Don't you stand out amongst everyone else. We've got to start thinking, how would I speak to people if I was face to face with them? Even when I'm stuck behind a smartphone, a Zoom, social media platforms, email, or anything else. Because that is what starts to change us into transformational thinkers. So, one last bit before I come back, and let's just take a breath, get some insights and get some questions. I want you to think about this. For most people, they speak about the problem that they solve. Sorry. So they speak about the tangible. They go, I do this sort of coaching, or I do this sort of program, or I help people do this thing. This is the problem I fix. That's fine. Is it really inspiring? I don't know, not really. Because there's probably a whole bunch of people that do that too. So therefore, why do I pick you over the next person, over the next person, over the next person, over the next person? Honestly, the people you attract are going to be the people who want the cheapest. I'm sure you didn't get into business to have to be able to fight for clients based on price. So then there's the next level. And the next level is around you deliver this result. You've got a whole bunch of people who get this result. So you've got evidence. I can get this particular result for someone. Great. Next level up. Not so much based on price. But there's a level we need to get to in our business with what it is that we do. And that's to be able to share the impact that your business makes, right? The meaningful difference in that your business makes to people. Because that's the fastest way when you start talking about that you get someone to resonate, respect, and be inspired by you. So I want you to have a bit of a think. We all have the tangibles. We do this and this and this and this. It's very logical. I'm sure you've heard many a times before, like I have. We buy off emotion and we justify with logic. So speaking about that really isn't all that beneficial to our people out there. So then we talk about results. And that's great because it's still a little bit logical and a bit of analytical in there, but we can generally bring some emotion in. But when you get up to impact, now you actually start speaking from within. Now you start actually bringing the human element into it. Now people can actually understand why you're different. Great, you're a copywriter. So's that person and that person and that person. And if you all just spoke about you help people to solve problem, all I can base my decision really is who's going to get it done for me the cheapest. But that's not what we want. So as soon as you can start actually getting people to understand you, understand what you're about, understand your story, and really it's understand your stories, that's when we create this here. So that is all prepping the soil, planting the seeds. Because if we don't have that way of thinking, everything else we're about to get into, it doesn't matter. It won't work. Because the level of thinking is still stuck around the tangible, the specific problem. The level of thinking is still stuck around, how do I make the next sale? How do I get the next outcome? How do I win? Notice how it's all I, me. There isn't a single business that you probably know of as a great brand or a great name that has focused on simply I, me. But I think at any great business, they've done it through collaborations. They've done it through teaming up with others. They've done it because the level of thinking has gone, hey, what? I can't do it all by myself. I need other people to be able to help me grow, to be able to help me think differently, to be able to help me open doors, to be able to help me get new clients. When we had our tutoring business, I had no clue, to be quite honest. Here I was as a teacher, elite level basketball coach. I just got sick of the lazy teachers. So I went, oh, what does the teacher do? They tutor people. That's easy. I can do that. No clue about business. And here I was absolutely killing it. We had 4 clients. And it wasn't until I was actually watching one of the kids that I used to teach play netball down at Willoughby. There's 34 courts from Friday 4 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. 34 courts are full. It's like 3,500 families there. And the light bulb hit me. These are all of our clients. So what did I need to do? I needed to find a way to be able to team up with the Netball Association. I needed to find a way to be able to go, hey, how do we do things together? How can I help you? Notice the language. If I went to the Netball Association and went, hey, those 3,500 people I saw on Friday that belong to your association, they're my clients. How can you help me get them? What do you reckon they would do? Yet that's the mentality that most people have, because they see it from a it's about me perspective. And now that's not a terrible thing. That's how we've learnt to survive. But in business, you can't survive like that. So I want you to just do this for me. Throw it into the chat box for me. Insight, light bulb moment for you. And if you've got a question so far, throw it in the chat box too. And I'll pick it up as we go. Because I'm just conscious on time and I'm conscious on Nick going in 23 minutes. Michael, bad luck, be quiet. And I've got a lot I want to get through for you. So give me, what's your biggest insight so far? What have you just taken away from that so far? What have you just written in big capital letters that you're sticking on the wall from this day forward? And if you've got a question, throw it into the chat box. So we start off around your thinking because it controls everything. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of the 7 steps to this, 5 steps and this will happen, 3 steps and the magic pill will obviously. No, it won't. Because if you're a dud thinker, it won't matter. You have to change the level of thinking if you really want to resonate with people, get people to respect you, and therefore be able to inspire them. Now, that in itself is really, as a business, where you should be focused on. Like, I'm getting probably maybe 5 steps further than where you're ready. But eventually that has to become your thought process. How do I inspire people? So a lot of people would do this. How do I inspire my clients? Transaction thinking, survival thinking. We have a really clear mission to inspire 1 million consultants every single year to play a bigger game in their business, to win every day, to be more profitable than ever before, so they can contribute and change society for the better. So if I have that level of thinking, do you think I care about just our clients or just a handful of people? No. Whether someone's a client or not, it doesn't matter. Our job is to inspire people so that they can help get a better business and make society a better place. So if you have that attachment to something, how do you think you would then do things differently when you spoke to people on your social platforms, when you turned up to networking events, when you spoke about your business, when you created opportunities with other people? The level of thinking would be really different. I want to touch on your 4 Qs. So there are 4 things that you've got to have an understanding of to be able to help whatever you want to do marketing-wise. You've got to have an understanding of these 4 Qs. The first thing is, what are you known for? What are you the authority in? What are you great at? So you can't go, we help people get home loans as a mortgage broker. We help people secure a property. We help people get more money. We help people reduce stress or fear, or because so do thousands of other people. So what are you known for? If you don't create the perception, no one else will. In 2013, we had probably one of the largest marketing agencies in this country, sold it to a Canadian group. And that's where I went. We need to teach people how to get more referrals, use their networks better, create partnerships. They don't have to spend money on ads if they didn't want to. We never did in any of our businesses. So I started creating the perception. We're the #1 authority for referral marketing training for service providers around the globe. And in 2013, June 2013, me and the cat knew that that's what we were. And by the end of 2013, maybe 10 other people did. Then by 2015, a few hundred people did. Then we'd go over to the US, so a few more thousand did come 2017. Now, around the globe, we are known as the #1 authority for referral marketing training for service providers. We speak some 60+ times at conferences around the globe. We're on podcasts probably 2 a week. We're on webinars non-stop. But that's because I knew the perception that I needed to create of what we were known for. So we started creating it. Is it true? Who knows? Are we the #1? Maybe, maybe not. But it doesn't matter. Unless you start creating what you are known for and you start telling the world that you are the best at this, you're going to be exactly the same as everyone else. So once you get that part, You've then got to come into, how am I going to attract? For most people, they chase leads because they don't know how to attract. You need a way to attract. So going to networking events, doing Facebook ads, putting up social media content, doing videos, sponsorship, TV, radio, publications, any of those things is what I call simply a channel. The channel is like 1/10 of how you attract. If you don't have a way to attract, then the channel will never work, full stop. The number of times I hear people who say, oh, my marketing doesn't work. What do? I turn up to networking events. That's not marketing. That's a channel. When you turn up to the networking event, what do you actually do to ensure that you get people into your CRM, into your pipeline? And not just anyone, the people who have the pain point and actually want a solution. Going off on a tangent, but this is needed. Those that have been around me for a little while know that I don't mind a tangent or two. There are 4 types of people. There are what we call grey people. They don't have the pain point and don't need your solution. That is the majority of society. Then you've got what we call red people. They have the pain point, but it's not a priority to get it fixed. Then you have yellow people. They have the pain point. It is a priority, but they've got a couple of questions or obstacles or roadblocks before they will get it fixed. And then you've got green people. I have the pain point. It is a priority. I need to know if you can fix it or not. There are 4 types of people. Unfortunately, we spend so much time going after grey people because we don't have a marketing system. We think everybody needs what we do. So we need a marketing system that allows us to put red, yellow, green people into our CRM on a regular basis. That's how we attract. Then we can now come, and the next part of our marketing system is we need to educate them. Because at any given time, there are like 2% of green people out there. That's it. So if you think that your marketing should just focus on green people, you can't get a return on investment. It's a waste. It's why most businesses go broke. You have to be able to attract red, yellow, green people into your pipeline, into your CRM, and now it's up to you to educate them. So what does educate them do? It warms them up from being a red person to a yellow person to a green person. That's our job. So if you think about it, if I came into your CRM and all you did was go, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, what do you reckon I'm going to do? Leave as soon as I can. Yet that's what most people think they should be doing with email marketing. That's what most people think they should be doing on their social platforms. You start to see how we shoot ourselves in the foot by, again, either A, not understanding marketing to this extent, or B, not understanding humans enough. It takes anywhere at the moment between 14 and 17 touch points before someone has the ability to be able to resonate with you, respect you, and be inspired by you. And that's when they can start to buy. So right now, let me just do a quick little check. 20, let's just call it 25 people right now sitting here on the call. There might be one person who might be green in what we do. That's it. There might be another 8 or 9 that are red and yellow. And then there's a whole bunch that go, oh yeah, that was really good. But you know what? I couldn't stand him. And that's okay. Because the thing is, you've got to understand that you need to fill your CRM with your people. I am so much of a believer on this statement. By you knowing who you are, how to attract, how to educate, and how to be you, you will get the right people running fast towards you and the wrong people running away faster. And that's what you should be doing. If you're sitting there as a business going, I can serve everybody, nah, you won't have a business for very long. You need to be able to get the right sorts of people, your red, yellow, green people, running fast towards you, and the grey people running away as fast as possible. Because they're not your people. For whatever reason, but it doesn't matter. So if we know it takes 14 to 17 on touch points, we need to educate them. We need to warm them up. We need to nurture them. We need to make sure that we're staying front of mind. We need to be, as the farmer does, watering the seeds, making sure that there's sunlight, making sure that the weeds are taken care of, making sure that they've got space to grow. So that way then they can resonate with us, respect us, be inspired by us. And now they have the ability to be able to buy from you. So the last question you need to have a clear process structure around is, how are you going to ask the green people to be able to raise their hands? I think there's a great lesson that we can learn from accommodation sites. Like if you've ever booked anything on Webjet or Booking.com or Expedia or anything like that, what happens? You get an email like every 4 hours with the next deal, buy this thing. Here's 20% off. Here's a coupon code. Here, like it's non-stop. But they don't care because they've got so many hundreds of thousands of new people coming in that they're happy for thousands of people to leave. We can't do that. So rather than annoying everybody, we need to have great ways to identify who the green people are who want a solution. So we do little things like, PS, if you would like help to XYZ, just hit reply and reach back out. Let's have a chat. It's not buy my thing. Come to my next course. I've got this workshop coming up where we just assume that everyone is ready. And they're not. So in our 4 Qs, think about, what are you known for? How do you attract? How do you educate and warm them up? And then how do you get green people raising their hand because they are ready to see whether you are the solution or not? That to me is marketing. Anyone that goes marketing and sales are the same thing? Nah, wrong. Marketing is over here. Marketing's job is to find red, yellow, green people, bring them into your pipeline for you to warm up. That's marketing's job. Sales job then comes over here, and sales job is to be able to see is there a fit between you and the other person with what they want? So we need two distinct things happening here. Marketing to find them, warm them up, identify who's ready for a solution. Sales to see if the solution is a fit. Here we hear the language. Because the hunter language is, I've got to sell to every single person to be able to make my quota, to be able to make my budget, to be able to make my numbers, to be able to, won't work. Because then it affects everything else in terms of how we are and how we communicate and how we resonate with people. So I want to just touch on one last thing. So you can see, I just took this from one of our sites. We put our mission everywhere because it's really clear to us. It is bigger than anything else that we do to inspire 1 million consultants every year to play a bigger game in their business, to win every day, to be more profitable than ever before, so they can contribute and change society for the better. It sends tingles down my spine to think that we can help someone, whether a client or not, it doesn't matter. And then they can go hire more people, or they can support their favorite charity, or they can help a local sporting club. They can go and volunteer and give up some of their time at a shelter. And we get to create this ripple effect of good in society. It's got nothing now to do with our tangible, the product. It's got nothing really to do with our results. Sure, we can share that. But when you hold on to something around impact, the meaningful difference, it's so much easier for people to start to resonate, respect, and be inspired by you. I want to touch on one last aspect. Nick's got me 4 minutes on the clock. So we all have networks. All of us, we have networks. They're everyone on your social media. They're everyone that you meet at a networking event. They're everyone that's in your phone. Friends, family, colleagues, staff, contractors. Everyone around you is part of your network. So you all have what we call an A network. They're your immediate people you know. To be able to get from your A network to your B network, your A people have to introduce you to them. So as an example, I know Denise really well. Denise is part of our partnership club, been around me for years. I never knew D, but Denise went to D. Oh, you got to come on this webinar tonight. So that is my A network, Denise, opening the door to D, who was part of my B network. She was part of someone else's in my A networks. See, most of the time we don't even use our A networks well enough to even get into our B networks. And then you've got one step further, our C networks. So let's just quickly do this. I just go, look, if you knew 250 people, which is easy these days in your A networks, that was like 250 people that could open doors for you, that could promote you, that could help you grow your business. So let's just go. Then if you got them to open doors, 250 by 250, that would give you like 64,000 people in your B network. If you had 64,000 people around you, you reckon you've got enough seeds growing? Of course you do. So we'll just take it to your C network, 250 by 250 by 250. Now we're into the millions. But as I said, we don't even use our A network well enough. But why don't we? Because of this. The majority of time when we reach out or we talk to people, we focus on the transaction. Like if I was to get you to be really honest with yourself right here, most of you are part of networking groups. When you go to a networking group, what do you really go? It's not because it's a nice breakfast or a nice lunch. It's because you want to grow your business. So therefore, straight away, there's transaction mentality. Now, I get it's not the only reason why you go, but straight away, we tend to treat our network from a transaction point of view. What's in it for me? How's this going to help me? Where we need to get to is we need to be able to show our networks how much we care. We need to be able to personally engage with our networks. When we do those things, our networks will now start to create opportunities for us. So personally engage is not send out a mass email to everyone on your CRM. That's email marketing. It's got a different purpose. Personally engage is to send out an individual email to that person, checking in on something. Here's a simple little thing you can do starting right now, really. And that's send 10 messages a day, whether it's SMS, text, whether it's a social media message, whether it's email, send 10 messages a day, simply just going. I'm just going to pick someone on my screen. Hey, Lee, hope you have an amazing day today. That's it. I don't care if Lee responds. I'm not after anything from Lee. All I'm trying to do is put a smile on Lee's face. And if I've done that, that's how your networks start to appreciate really quickly that actually it's about the relationship and not the transaction. There's one big thing that you're also doing. You're dropping what we call the brain chemical dopamine. Everyone needs dopamine. It's why some people love the surf, some people love the beach, some people love the mountains, some people love the sun, some people love the snow. It makes us feel a particular way. And we keep going back to the things that make us feel a particular way. You can actually make people feel a particular way that they need to keep coming back to you. That's pretty powerful. Okay, Nick, I know we're at 7:28. I could go for another week, but we won't. I think from here, just very conscious of time, throw in a chat box. As I said, it was a fire hose. There's a whole bunch of places you can go to watch recordings. Throw in there, what was your biggest takeaway? And I'm just going to put up here, you can get me on Instagram. We love playing over there. You can come join us in the Facebook group, the Consultants Tribe. And that probably allows you then just to keep learning more and more and more. Because the only thing that I really want to continue to do is to inspire you to be great. Throw in there, what was your biggest takeaway? And Nick, I'm handing over to you also.
Awesome. Excellent. Thanks, Michael. That was absolutely brilliant. I've got a whole sheet of notes here, and there's a few things that I used to do that I've forgotten to do. So thanks for reminding me.
No, absolute pleasure. You're right. It is so simple that sometimes we just think it's got to be something harder that we need to do, and we just don't.
All right. Well, excellent. Any questions? Any comments in there? So we've got some comments coming through now. Serve, not sell. The why I do business. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The relationships. Love that. The 10 messages a day. Quickly. Oh, so that was an impact that someone had there. Yeah, that's awesome. Excellent. Any questions there at all? Anyone got anything they want to ask, or anything they want to say? I'll bring us back into gallery view. Excellent. Well, let's give Michael a huge round of applause. If you really enjoyed that, let's make some noise. It's a bit weird when there's no noise, really, isn't it? And here's the interesting thing as well, too. Like, I've known Michael, he's probably been in my second or my B circle of contacts. How I did get connected to Michael again was through Loz and Denise, who's on this call. So some of you will know Loz or Lauren, and it was really just a message to reaching out, connecting us together, which is why Michael's here tonight. So, you know, that referral, this is a real example of how that human business actually works. All right, so we do have a prize draw tonight for those that are here. Do you want to tell us what it is, Michael?
Yeah, so we run a implementation program, sort of do it yourself. So we've got a great training portal, 10 modules. You walk through setting up pretty much your $1 million referral system. So we'll give you access to that, and you can go through, so much stuff in there that you can build out your $1 million referral system. You'll learn how to attract, you'll learn how to get your known for, you'll learn how to educate, you'll learn how to ask. It's all in there ready for you to be able to do.
Awesome. Excellent. So we do have our special way of drawing that tonight. We have our wheel of names. So everybody's name is in the wheel. Remember, if we draw it and you're not here, we redraw. So this could be a second timer. So let's spin the wheel. And the winner there is Peter, all the way from Thailand. So, Michael, you may need to fly to Thailand to deliver that to him. If only we could these days.
Yeah, luckily we've got a good owl that can fly that far.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh, well, based on your comment at the beginning, Peter, about your interest in it, this is perfect. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. So maybe what we'll do is we'll connect you up, or just drop Michael a message in chat now with your email address, which is probably the best way to get in touch with you. And then you guys can hook up to deliver that. So once again, thank you, Michael, for spending your Tuesday evening with us. I'm sure there's probably some other things you could be doing. So really a privilege to have you here along with us tonight. And thank you, everyone, for turning up tonight. Hope you enjoyed it and you've taken away some value. But more than that, it's not about what you learned tonight, but it's what you do once you leave here. So if you can just do one thing, that one thing is all that counts. So we'll be back here again next week, Tuesday, 6 o'clock, with another episode for the year. Great to see you all, and look forward to catching you again, and look forward to getting some of those messages from you saying, hey, Nick, hope you're having a sensational day. Go and have a great night, and we'll see you next week.